Welcome to Galactic Initiative. I'm your host, Jeff. As a kid, Star Wars figures were my favorite toys. But after playing with them for months, I lost and broke many of their specialized weapons, such as Bosk's Relby V10, Chewie's Bowcaster, and Zuckuss's GRS-1. Some endured countless battles in my playroom and yard, but some were replaced with non-specific E11s, DH-17s, etc. The point is, I gained an appreciation for blasters in the galaxy far, far away. Here, by no one's request, are three of my favorites, with a few interesting facts besides. Dozens of channels publish Star Wars tech spec videos. I don't aspire to equal the best for research and detail, or the worst for dullness and obscurity. In this video, I just want to recall the good times, when shooting irons weren't the enemy, and arms dealers didn't frequent casino planets to gamble profits from both sides of a galactic civil war. Let's have a blast. Han Solo introduced fans to the DL-44 when he fried Greedo in Chalmun's Cantina. From his quick-draw holster with dead-eye marksmanship, Han used it to silence opponents when necessary. The DL-44 shares its numeric designation with a popular caliber from our world.
Being this is a .44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and would blow your head clean off, you've got to ask yourself one question: do I feel lucky?
More about Clint Eastwood in a moment. The DL-44 was based on the Mauser C96, a German semi-automatic pistol from the turn of the previous century. A sniper scope and muzzle booster were added for style, not function. In case you don't recognize the name Clint Eastwood, the actor played anti-heroes for decades. His perceived toughness and reclusiveness harkened back to leading men like Humphrey Bogart and John Wayne. In the Western Joe Kidd, Clint Eastwood fired a Mauser C96. So, thanks to Dirty Harry, Joe Kidd, the Dollars trilogy, and more, I recognized a Clint Eastwood-Harrison Ford association. As a smuggler and gunfighter with a good heart, Han was an amalgamation of several characters played by Eastwood prior to Episode 4. In other words, Lucas harnessed Eastwood's persona to create Han Solo, whose DL-44 should be second only to the lightsaber on a list of Star Wars iconic weapons. The galaxy's most feared bounty hunter, Boba Fett, carried the EE-3 carbine. It was based on a flare gun from the First World War, the Webley and Scott No. 1 Mark I pistol. Lucas lengthened the barrel and added a scope to fashion a Western-style carbine, or short rifle. The Empire Strikes Back featured a different version than Return of the Jedi. In the ESB, Fett's carbine had a smooth barrel. In Jedi, it had a grooved barrel and the scope was closer to the stock. Fett's blaster, battered armor, cape, spurs, and Wookiee scalps evoked a ruthless mercenary from a spaghetti western. Faceless, laconic, highly skilled. Circling back to Clint Eastwood, Fett's cape in the ESB resembled the ponchos worn by Eastwood's Man with No Name in the Dollars trilogy. Though subtle, it reveals Lucas's conception of the notorious bounty hunter. In Jedi, solid green replaced two-tone, more military, less Western. Fett's EE-3 was sliced to pieces by Luke Skywalker. He fired it only 4 times in the OT. For 16 years, the character's action figure included the E11, not the EE-3. The E5 rifle isn't an obvious favorite, but it's the most abundant weapon in Star Wars history. It was standard issue for B-1 battle droids and BX commando droids of the late Republic era, so thousands appeared in the Clone Wars series and prequel films. Due to its ubiquitousness, the weapon has been overlooked. It was designed for battle droids' 3-fingered hands, but it was suitable for any humanoid. In fact, when you hold the E5, the first thing you notice is comfort, a practical, ergonomic weapon. The E5 in this photo is mine. Like the AK-47 from our world, precision was sacrificed for low cost, simplicity, mass production, and reliability. In Episode 2, Padme Amidala grabbed one of these blasters from a fallen droid. She fired it accurately throughout the first battle of Geonosis. The E5 was based on, I can't find one real-world source. The ventilated barrel calls the Sterling submachine gun to mind. Perhaps Lucas wished to show the E11's predecessor for continuity's sake. The OT E11 was based on the Sterling SMG. If you know the E5's roots, please inform me with a comment. Thank you for watching. I'd like to know, what are your favorite blasters? Click thumbs up and subscribe before you go. Check out Galactic Initiative for all things Star Wars.
Galactic Initiative is not authorized or endorsed by Lucasfilm Limited. The name Star Wars and all related materials are registered trademarks of Lucasfilm Limited, a subsidiary of the Walt Disney Company, all rights reserved. Galactic Initiative is a registered trademark, and other product and company names are trademarks of their respective holders. Use does not imply affiliation or endorsement.